Enchanter, you're a poor creature. Sticks and stones, old boy. In any case, let me presume to take on your job by saying that we ought to move on, because little shall be settled by these feeble means. Tonight, my little thrill-seekers, we have... Yes, yes, it's hairy, so be wary. Where did you get that? I certainly didn't write it for you. There are times, you bothersome little gnat, to my eternal flame, when the talent simply has to riff in order to up our game. But please, don't go falling all over yourself to thank me. As if. All right, fine. We'll move on. First up, we have something of a curious but relevant offering. It's a make-believe ninth cinematic teaming of the greatest of all classic horror icons, Bela Lugosi and Boris Karloff, in what functions as a foreshadowing of the vintage monkey business dynamics in our main feature. This short film is entitled Let's Go Ape, in which Boris and Bela are each cast as mad scientists on a perilous quest for a particular elusive potion, which acts as a cure for certain maladies. You know, you can always go and work part-time at composing vague TV Guide program descriptions. Very well. Grab a hold of your bananas, folks. Come, Mr. Tallyman, tally me banana. But whatever you do, don't dilly-dally with the deadly black tarantula. Hey, it's strictly a killer ape thing going on here, Buster. There are no venomous spiders in tonight's show. I just love making a liar out of that insufferable schmuck. Don't you, Iris? Yes, I know. However, try not to judge all of mankind by his woeful example. Remind me to stock up on bug spray the next time I venture out to the grocery store. If I were you, I would not be so cavalier in dismissing the importance of my much adored arachnid associate. After all, spiders harbor a genuine genius for complex calculus and stratagems. As it happens, Iris is the one who originally discovered that when you play the classic David Bowie song, Time, backwards, it actually spells out the elusive method for transecting and maneuvering through time, across ever-sprawling layers of the multiverse. She's frightfully clever. Yep. Bug spray. Got it. Everyone is waiting. All right, all right. Hold your heavy horses, locomotive breath. I'll get to it. Roll film.
Stop shaking, Agda. I will touch you.
Oh, you poor boy.
I must have human spinal fluid injected into me. It's my only chance. Sandra and I both agreed to it. It's the only way to counteract the ape fluid injection. But she won't do it.
succeeded. It's there. Life in that tiny bottle. It's working.
Son of a...
Just go.
Dark. All right, boys. Take that off of him.
Ah! See there, kiddies? Once again, the bad people, they die. And the good people, they live. Mostly. Well, I'll admit that Lugosi and his pet gorilla went way overboard with that grotesquely unethical killing spree. And leave it to Karloff to skin a ginormous, hairy ape, merely to exact some unnamed revenge upon poor Bela. However, it seems to me that inevitably they both met much the same fate, did they not? This might be the perfect opportunity to pause for a bit and pay tribute to both of these beloved boogeymen. They definitely played a major part in my formative years as a dyed-in-the-wool monster kid. Personally, I think that this was pretty consistent with the general theme, which for the most part runs through so many of Karloff's horror film portrayals. You mean when he mysteriously stepped from the inky shadows and somberly turned to the camera and said, "As sure as my name is you-know-who, this is a thriller." I've always wanted to do that. No, not exactly. If I might continue, I suspect that it's a comparatively rare thing to single out those parts in movies where he played a thoroughly unredeemable person, as in The Black Cat, The Body Snatcher, Bedlam, or Frankenstein 1970. By and large, his characters frequently harbored qualities of basic humanitarianism and other sympathetic traits, even if his actions were misguided or hurtful to some of those in the supporting cast. The rabble, you mean? The uncouth extras in the storyline? The constituents of the requisite body count in any such terror tale?
Scary as Hell Theater sincerely regrets the host's unfortunate use of the word rabble to describe what has come to be celebrated as a truly vital human element within the genre of horror cinema. Please take care to direct any written complaints, rotten-smelling parcels, or gypsy curses to the host, and not to the showrunner. Thank you.
For that matter, where would any of us be without a seemingly endless supply of hapless victims in horror films? Would we, by default, end up becoming sheeple and mindlessly begin to watch Dead Can Dance with the Stars? Now that's what I call horror. After years of playing heavies in early cinema, I believe that Karloff's legendary work in James Whale's Frankenstein recast his image into someone whom the audience wanted to identify with and feel compassionate towards. Another kind of typecasting, if you will. And he embraced it. It was quite clear that he frequently tried to infuse those characteristics into his roles, whether or not they were formally scripted that way. Are you still awake out there? Next on Geeks Who Can't Get a Date, we'll deconstruct the complex relationship between King Kong and Godzilla. And heaven help all of you when that comes to pass. Bela had many strengths as an actor. Early on, he seemed rather overly infatuated with his conspicuous power to seduce stage and screen beauties before the fawning eyes of his female fan base. The guy seemed like a walking, talking romance novel hero, Rudolph Valentino on steroids, and he was uncannily effective at delivering the goods. Hey, never mind that blowhard, folks. In the meantime, I think I'll quietly abscond with Tim's wand and see if it's got a Hyper Sonic Wedgie setting on it. That'll teach him to go nodding off during work. Hyper Sonic Wedgie!